Hello, Feel Good Shifts. This is Erica of thefeelgoodshift.com. Super excited to be here with you today. So, today is about stop worrying. I just feel like it's so easy for us to get stuck in the worry train. Like there's one thought that comes up, and then another one, and another one, and then we fall back into like the usual patterns of worrying, and oftentimes it just doesn't serve us. Like what usually happens is like we're getting ready, we're so close to like that pivotal point of transition of like moving higher. Okay, so I see life as an upward spiral. That has always been my philosophy, and it's a philosophy that has shown itself to be true in my life, and maybe because I believe it. As you're going into your upward spiral, as you're getting ready to go up another tier, like stuff is going to hit the fan. And I've posted a video about that before. When you are getting ready to go up a little higher, because remember, every version, every life, everything that you're creating is going to require you to be a different you. It's going to require to be more expansive, more aware, more grounded in your truth. It's going to require you to do a lot of things. So the more grounded that you are in your power, the easier that that's going to come through. When you are worrying, it's like you're not trusting the universe to carry you up into that next tier. It's like whatever you're going through, whatever's blocking you, whatever is like rustling you on the inside, it's there for a reason. It's basically there to break through whatever limitations are keeping you from coming up into that next tier. So every time that you're worrying, it's almost like your resistance. I want you to always think that worrying is resistance, the natural flow of what's actually happening. Worrying means that you're not trusting the universe to actually come in and intervene in your favor. Worrying actually creates more worrying. So the more that you're worrying, the more that you're spinning in that energy, the more chaotic that your life is going to tend to feel. And it's like we tend to worry because we're trying to control things. We tend to worry because we're trying to find a solution for things that it's none of our business. Like the universe has us covered. Like we don't need to worry about things. We don't need to plan for things. We don't need to, well, you do have to plan for things, but I'll get into that and clarify a little bit more of what I mean by that. You don't have to worry about the house, is basically what I'm saying. You don't have to worry about how it's going to come to be. Your job is to plan for this thing to actually come into your life and what you're going to do when that thing actually shows up. So this isn't about you worrying because, oh my God, I don't know how this is going to happen. And I don't know, like you have to trust, you have to learn to surrender. And it takes some practice and it takes some serious muscle building. But at the end of the day, it's like, there's nothing else for you to do. Like you worrying cuts off the flow of miracles into your life. It's like a barrier. It's like the more, and you're doing it to yourself. It's like the more that you're worrying, the more that you're spinning in your own like worry energy, the more that you're creating, the more worrying that's going to come in. And the more worrying reasons that you're creating, and the more that worry is going to show up, and then you're going to think that, oh, I knew I should have been worried about that, when in fact you're creating that situation because you are worrying. So it's a double-edged sword. I really want you to think about what you're worrying about, if you're worrying about this moment, and what's the reason behind your worrying. Is it because you feel a sense of lack of control? And chances are there's going to be a yes, because the only reason we worry is because we're afraid that something is not going to turn out the way that we want it to turn out. And in that, we're limiting the possibilities, the endless possibilities that are available to us. So worrying usually just perpetuates the worrying, and it doesn't allow us to see truth clearly. Usually the situation has already been resolved in and of itself. Whether it is what you want it to be, that's where the healing comes in, because we are so used to having this tight control over what we want the outcome to be that we are often unable to just relax and let life take care of us. So if you're in a place right now where like you're spinning in your own thoughts and like there's no ease and no relief coming from it, maybe a little anxiety might be kicking in because of it. It's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? What is the absolute worst thing that can happen? And based on what that may have been, that answer may be for you, it's like, can you live with that? Is this something that you are willing to like surrender to and be okay with? Ultimately, it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of feel good energy. It's really meant to be observed, because the worry is, it's teaching you something. There's something behind it. There's a lesson. But more often than not, it's just like you can't do anything about it. So you're worrying. It's not going to help anything. Only thing you can do is do the best that you can, and be open to whatever may come your way, because it's not always going to be linear. It's not always going to be A, B, and C. The more that you're trusting the universe to like really have your back and help you manifest your desires, the more that you're going to have to trust it, and the more that you're going to have to build that trust and flow with it, and really believe that no matter what happens, that is in your favor. Like, even if it looks like the bleakest, most horrible outcome ever, just knowing that that horrible outcome is exactly what is meant for you. And what usually happens is that you spin out of like that horrible outcome, and then you shortly realize that actually it wasn't that bad. Like, hindsight is always going to be 2020. And you're going to come out of it and you're going to realize like it wasn't that bad. It solved itself. So then you spent all this time worrying for no particular reason. Okay. So that's kind of it. If you're worrying about anything right now, just sit with it. Ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? Why am I worrying at this moment? Where am I feeling out of control? Acknowledge all that, and within that same breath, also acknowledge that no matter what happens, the universe is working for me. And that everything is in divine perfect timing, in divine perfect plan, and that, you know, everything is going to be exactly how it needs to be. And that the more that I trust the universe, the more that the universe is going to provide me with everything that I desire and more. So I just want to leave you with that little nugget. If you have questions about any of this, feel free to message me below this video. If you haven't joined our Manifesting Powerhouses group, do it. We are growing really rapidly. We're going to be doing our first live call this Sunday. So you want to be in the group to get the dial-in information, because I'm going to be like providing tons of value. It's going to be Q&A. It's going to be amazing, and I'm really excited about it. So if you haven't joined, join. The link is with this video. And I am so excited. I am so looking forward to like giving you more of what I've got. Seeing you like achieve way more than you have achieved, and then some. And I am so inspired to be here delivering massive value to you. If this sounds good, join me on Manifesting Powerhouses group, and I'll talk to you again soon. Mwah. Love and many blessings. Ciao for now.